Hey there gang, good morning. Sean here and welcome to the channel. It's been a while. We took part of a week off, mainly because here in southeastern Ontario it has been nothing but incredibly cold and more snow, and it's kind of put a pause on a lot of our daily activities that we do on the lot and the preparations for the build. But it's warmed up. It did snow a little bit last night. I don't want to continue to always be posting videos just about snow plowing. So that's why we took a bit of a break at the first of the week here today. But we just got this back. We got the Honda Pioneer back from the dealership because I just had a brand new plow, or a brand new winch installed. Normally something that I'd try to tackle myself, but in this incredibly cold weather and deep snow and really having no garage or anything to work on it out here, I decided to have them do it. So picked it up. Just gonna unload it now, and then gotta get the plow back on it. And we've got some other stuff in store today, so stick around and see what we get into. Oh yeah, we had more issues with that Honda Pioneer 700 in those incredibly cold days. Those minus 30 days, 3 more times, it didn't want to start. Not because of the battery, but because it was so cold the fuel pump and the gauge cluster would not engage. As soon as it warmed up, they worked great. So, we do have a part ordered from the dealership. It's supposed to go in hopefully later this week or first of next week to get an inline cooling heater that keeps the coolant warm in the block and circulates it through the system. So hopefully that'll make a difference in the future. Oh, here it is. Brand new 4,500 pound worn winch. Works like a charm. So, as I said, I don't want this to all be a snowplow video, but I do have to take care of some business and get some of it done. Do another little job here on the point. And then I've got some errands to do. One of them, though, is something I'm happy to actually hopefully be able to help out do today, and that is the Kinsmen Dream home here in Kingston, Ontario, which raises an incredible amount of money for local charity. It's, I believe, already sold out, and I think they've been able to raise $700,000. Is what I remember reading, something like that. So that's fantastic. Anyways, the guy that looks after their driveway has been shoveling it by hand, and he reached out. He's a real estate agent. He reached out and asked if there was anybody else that would be willing to come and help out. So I'm loading this puppy up this afternoon and going over and clearing the driveway for them. Lisa and I always like to try and help out our community the best we can. That is a little tiny minuscule little thing that really means nothing, but I'm really happy to be able to do it today. So we're going to do that, and then hopefully get back out here on the lot this afternoon and get cutting and maybe splitting some wood. So stick around. All right there, guys. Don't tell Lisa, I'm actually in the kitchen of our rental with the chainsaw on the little island. She doesn't need to know. Anyways, just one quick tip. We're hopefully going to get back out on the lot this afternoon and start cutting some rounds and getting the log splitter and getting some stuff cleaned up and that. But one thing that people tend to forget quite a bit of the time is setting their chainsaws for winter use, especially here in southeastern Ontario where, again, it's been so cold and snowy and everything. There's just a little adjustment to make your saws run better in the winter. So on this Stihl 291, the MS 291, all you do is there's 3 bolts on the housing. Pop it off, use a little screwdriver, and you'll find there's a tiny little orange slide that just slides out. And you probably can't see this, but if you look at it, there's a little bit of a diagram of a sun or a snowflake. and it basically just has an arrow. So we're not in summer anymore, so we're going to flip this over. The arrow says for snowflake for winter use, push it in this direction. So we just click that back in, put that housing back on, and now we should be ready to use this saw in the cold weather. Just a little tip in case you forgot. Here we are back in the truck, but I thought maybe you guys might like to meet the rest of the crew. This is Vern here, closest to me, and that is Eugene, our two Great Danes. I'm actually on my way to Napanee to the breeder, where they came from. They're basically like family. They help us out, and they have a boarding kennel as well, so we board them there when things get so hectic and crazy, which happens more often than we'd like lately. Anyways, I'm on my way to drop the dogs off because tomorrow, instead of being able to be out at the lot, Lisa and I have to run to Toronto because my daughter, who's there for school, needs to go to a medical specialist appointment that just kind of happened out of the blue after a year of waiting. So tomorrow is a lot of running around, and there's also supposed to be, I don't know if you've heard about it, but this in Canada, they're doing the truckers, a portion of the truckers in our country are doing a trucking protest against vaccine mandates and stuff, I guess. I don't really know much about it, but I do know that they're warning people that the highways here, the main highway, Highway 401, is going to be incredibly congested and traffic is going to be insane on and off, you know, today, later today and tomorrow. So thought best thing to do is get the dogs to their destination earlier today than originally planned, and then hopefully get back out to the lot and get back to work a little bit finally. So that's what's happening now.
So we made it out to the lot, and it is a much warmer day, but super windy. Once again, I have promised and got us into work that always involves Sean. And we took a drive by the Kinsmen Dream home, and unfortunately it hasn't been plowed in a while. The snow is super hard, and I don't think that the plow on the side-by-side, which is what we were waiting for, is going to do the trick. So Sean is right now loading up the trailer, and he might not be very happy with me on this particular promise. So this might take us a bit longer than anticipated.
As I don't know, Lisa had the camera and she was saying something, but as you can see, we're now on scene at the Kinsmen Kingston Lottery Dream Home, and the driveway has probably never really been plowed, actually. So the side-by-side isn't going to work. So I had to bring the Kubota over, so it's going to take quite a bit longer, but at least we're helping out a charity, right? And the people in our hometown. So here we go.
Sean got going, he shows no signs of stopping. He said when we got here that he was not going to plow all the way around. He would just plow one side of the driveway to the garage, and yet there he is halfway around the other half of the driveway. So we'll see. I'm not going to say anything. I'll just see how far he goes.
It's been, I don't know, over an hour, but we did get everything cleaned out. I know Lisa's been shooting some video while I've been on the tractor, but here we go, a little tour. For the moon and how she lights up the sky you may think that you've lost me already. I feel that you tell me, but I'm still. So as I said earlier in the video that this wasn't going to be another plowing video, apparently the main purpose of this video turned into a plowing video because that job took way longer at the Kinsmen Dream home than either of us could ever have imagined. So it's starting to get cold again, it's getting late in the day, but before we call it quits, I'm going to use the Kubota, and I'm actually going to pull a bunch of logs out of the log pile. So I'm going to use that new Bxpanded trenching bucket on the back of the backhoe. I'm going to pull a bunch of those logs out and get them out into a pile here so that this weekend I actually can just come and cut and get splitting. So that's next on the agenda. So as you can see, adding that thumb onto the backhoe has been an incredibly handy little tool because I can dig through that pile, pull logs out of the frozen ground, get them out here, and like I always say, I use that to be able to pick the logs up, use a chainsaw. So the idea for next week, or this weekend, is we'll come out here, we're gonna set the Kubota here, have the chainsaw station right here beside me, then we'll have the Red Rock wood splitter beside that, and then beside that will be the tough terrain trailer on the back of the Honda Pioneer. So we'll be able to literally pick the log up, I'll cut it, put it on the splitter, split it, throw it in the trailer, and when the trailer's full, we can take it and stack it. So that's our redneck wood processing system, basically. So it should work quite well, and I'm excited to finally get going at it. Before we call it a day, I just want to go over and just say that, you know, we were happy to be able to help out today, get that plowing done. We got the side-by-side back here, we got the new winch put on, we've got all that stuff, the plow's back on, everything's working great. As you can see, we used the Kubota B2601 and that thumb attachment, which is awesome. Pulled those logs out and got everything ready for, well, it won't be tomorrow, but this weekend. But the big job coming up this week, the one that we've been I've been racking my brain about what we're gonna do and how we're gonna do it, deals with these big white oak logs. And if you look, and Lisa's particular about where I point, and I don't know where it is, but she'll put a card somewhere up here about when we actually tried to move these with the Kubota. And I was able to move them over here, but that big one on the bottom is far too heavy for the Kubota to lift. So what we're going to do next week is we're going to dig that out. I got some block and tackle stuff and some industrial carabiners, and we're going to build our own, basically, makeshift crane. So what we're going to do is this tree here, because it is right on the driveway and angles out some, we're literally going to take some chain at the bottom of the tree. I'm going to put this tackle there, this block there. We're going to chain one up higher. I'm going to run the winch cable from the Kubota through this, up, over the pulley, and back down. I'll be able to drag those logs over here or push them over here. And then the hope is that I'll be able to use the winch or the side-by-side basically to pull that log up enough that I can back the dump trailer in underneath one end and then just use the Kubota to push it the rest of the way on. So it sounds complicated. It is a bit, and probably a tiny bit dangerous, but you know, I'm not opposed to a little danger. Lisa's giggling in the background.
You know, the other alternative is we could have the company come and pick them up.
Yeah.
But no.
The other
we're not
alternative
doing
is
that.
a lot of big dollars, so we're not going to do
We're
that.
not doing that.
So that's what we're going to try. If you have any, you know, comments about it, suggestions, anything like that, add them in the comment section down below. But I think this is actually going to work because we only need to basically get the end of the log basically 2 feet off the ground. And we only need one end off so that we can kind of get it up in the trailer, and then the Kubota will push it all the way onto the trailer. So stay tuned next week for that exciting and you know, should be a drum roll, dangerous thing. So anyways, listen, thanks guys for watching. We always truly appreciate everyone that's watched and subscribed. And if you like the video and you're getting something out of it and some entertainment, please hit the thumbs up because it does really, truly does help us. Any comments you have, please add them down below. Hit the little bell so you know when we post. And thanks for watching. We're excited that we're finally back out on the lot and actually getting some things done. So on behalf of
Lisa.
And I.
That's all I get to say.
Yeah, shh, quiet. You're talking too much. Listen, but on a serious note, thanks guys for watching. You have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you later.
Bye.